Introduction. Post-traumatic stress disorder, better known as PTSD, is a mental health condition that's triggered by a terrifying event, either experiencing it or witnessing it. Trauma is defined a very difficult or unpleasant experience that causes someone to have mental or emotional problems, usually for a long time. Issues and resolutions. Description of the issue. A veteran may endure an episode outside of medical supervision and may need immediate aid. Also, immediate documentation of the episode could help with treatment of the disorder. How can it be resolved? A mobile app that will monitor and document such episodes when they occur. Is there such an app? Sure. PTSD Coach mobile app. PTSD Coach is a supplement to psychological health care and support received by service members and veterans experiencing signs or symptoms of PTSD. The app can also be used to create and connect with support network by identifying people who can provide the user with emotional support and contact info to the phone. When a service member or veteran is in need of immediate support, the app can link the user directly to the military crisis line for immediate intervention and care. Project Planning Report. I plan to determine if the PTSD Coach mobile app platform is user-friendly and effective by vets diagnosed with the disorder, and if there are any modifications that could be implemented to optimize its design. In order for me to conduct this research, I will provide a sequential timeline of the research plan progression. The stakeholder in my research project will be the federal government. My resources will be the PTSD Coach mobile app and my participants, veterans diagnosed with PTSD. I do not foresee any... I do not foresee any risk due to having each participant consenting to participate in the research. The consent form informs the participants of the objectives of the research. Research methodology. I aim to provide a concise assessment of the PTSD Coach mobile app from veterans diagnosed with PTSD, which whom are using or have used the PTSD Coach mobile app. My research will study the effectiveness and usability of the mobile app designed to inform and assist veterans diagnosed with PTSD. Design methodology. The individuals I plan to interview are at least 2 veterans, PTSD diagnosed. For consent purposes, all participants will be at least 18 years of age with the ability to read and write well enough to understand the consent form and competent enough to fill out the research questionnaire. I will be using unstructured interviews and open-ended question surveys to extract data from my research. Data collection instruments. I opted to use a questionnaire to extract the results for my research. Question number 1. Identify your age range. Circle 1. First range, 18 to 24 years of age. The second range, 25 to 34 years of age. The third range, 35 to 44 years of age. The fourth range, 45 to 54 years of age. The fifth range, 55 to 64 years of age. And the last range, 65 or older. Question number 2. Did you find the PTSD Coach mobile app interface easy to understand visually, or did you find it challenging? Explain. Question number 3. Did you find the PTSD Coach mobile app interface easy to navigate, or did you find it challenging? Explain. Question number 4. In what way or ways, if any, did you find the information on the PTSD Coach mobile app useful? Explain. Question number 5. Were the video examples provided by the PTSD Coach mobile app helpful to understand the concepts on PTSD? Explain. Question number 6. Do you feel, if triggered by a PTSD episode, that the PTSD Coach mobile app will facilitate the event in a positive way? Explain. Question number 7. How effective were the tools for screening and tracking your symptoms on a PTSD Coach mobile app? Question number 8. On a scale from 1 to 5, 5 being the highest rating, what do you rate the PTSD Coach mobile app? Question number 9. Give your insight, if any, on how the PTSD Coach mobile app can be more effective. Question number 10. Do you foresee yourself continuing using the PTSD Coach mobile app for future affairs? If so, in what ways? Research report. After evaluating the PTSD Coach mobile app for 2 weeks, I thought the app's usability was great overall. It took very little time to download and install the app onto my smartphone. The ptsd.va.gov home website provides downloads for both the iOS and Android platforms. The interface bridges the gap well with providing useful information and providing a platform that is easy to navigate through. I was very impressed with the tools the app provided for screening and tracking symptoms of PTSD. One flaw I felt the app suffered was the lackluster web pages. The web page's design layout for the PTSD mobile app are not appealing to the eye, which can become disengaging over time. Also, if one is not familiar with mobile apps, then the graphical user interface could be somewhat of a challenge. The tabs that categorize symptoms for the disorder are located in such a way that it's not very revealing, making it easy to overlook. However, once the desired description is launched, the application's portal navigates seamlessly. The PTSD Coach mobile app videos provided a considerable amount of information. I improved my sleep pattern during the 2-week analyzing phase by utilizing information advised for sleep apnea. Though not diagnosed with PTSD, I found most of the content very useful with managing stress overall. Research results. Out of the 10 participants that partook in the research, 3 ranged between the ages of 25 to 34, 5 ranged between 34 to 44 years of age, and 2 were between the ages of 45 to 54. The results from my survey found that 2 out of 10 felt the site was difficult to understand visually. The 2 were in the age range of 45 to 54. When asked if they were familiarized with other mobile apps prior to the PTSD Coach mobile app, they both had answered not that extensive and that they allow other people to help them navigate through other mobile apps. Also, both participants wore glasses, and was asked if the text could have been larger. They both sentiment that would help. However, aside from 2 participants finding the mobile site difficult to understand visually, all seemed to feel the PTSD Coach mobile app was easy to navigate through once launched, according from the questionnaire results. 7 of the participants stated that the app's simplicity and descriptors, names of symptoms and treatments, that made it easy to maneuver through the app. Others stated how it was the app's name anchors that allow optimal maneuverability throughout the site. All 10 participants found the information to the PTSD Coach mobile app provided useful information in some form or another. The results from the questionnaire showed that all 5 participants from the age range of 34 to 44, including 2 from the age range of 25 to 34, found the tool for the avoidance of stressful situations most effective specifically. Results further revealed that the 2 participants in the age range of 45 to 54 thought the tool Right to Reflect was most beneficial. Most of the participants considered the app's videos helpful as well. However, 2 participants from the age group of 25 to 34 felt the videos were disengaging. They were the youngest of the sample. When asked what disinterested them about the videos, they both suggested the videos weren't exciting. Unanimously, all participants felt, if triggered by a PTSD episode, that the PTSD Coach mobile app will facilitate the event in a positive way. More than half, 7 exactly, of the participants felt the app should interact with their primary. More than half, 7 exactly, of the participants felt that the app should interact with their primary provider. Overall, on a scale from 1 to 5, 5 being the best rating, 4 participants rated the PTSD Coach mobile app 5 out of 5. 4 participants rated the app 4 out of 5. And 2 of the participants rated the app 3 out of 5. Ultimately, the 2 main concerns that the participants suggested that the app could improve upon with a graphical user interface and a lack of interoperability between the mobile app and their primary provider. Each participant declared to maintain using the PTSD mobile app for future means of coping with PTSD. Conclusion. In conclusion, the PTSD Coach mobile app seems to be very effective with helping veterans manage the disorder, according to the results gathered. However, due to time constraints, this research could not be conducted with an enormous sample size, which a larger sample size could have assisted in an increase in precision with evaluating the app. Overall, the PTSD Coach mobile app seems to meet quality standards for individuals in need of assistance with bothersome emotions or anyone coping with stress. Thank you for your time. Please enjoy the video.
Patricia Helmick suffers from PTSD. Although she's under a therapist's care, there are times when her symptoms are triggered when she's on her own. When that happens, she turns to her smartphone and clicks on an app.
And I'll be like sad or hopeless or worried and anxious, pick one of those categories, and then I just click on it and it gives me a tool to use to help get me out of that mood and get me raring to go.
So this is the...
Patricia is using the PTSD Coach app, jointly developed by the VA and the DoD.
When we spoke to veterans to ask them what they would like their phone to do for them, if their phone could help them with PTSD, they said, I want something that will help me in the moment when I'm in distress or have been triggered or I'm really struggling.
The PTSD Coach was developed with 4 main components: education about PTSD, a self-assessment tool to track symptoms, coping tools to help veterans get through difficult moments, and a crisis button that immediately calls 911 or the Veterans Crisis Line.
Thank you for calling the Veterans Crisis Line. This is Kaylee. How can I help you?
All of the information provided is entirely consistent with what's provided on our National Center for PTSD webpage and on our My Healthy Vet site.
The coping tools that help veterans get through difficult moments is the heart of the PTSD Coach.
It's organized to allow the individual to identify what sort of symptoms they're dealing with in that moment. So maybe they've just been triggered by a reminder of the trauma, or they're having trouble sleeping, or they're feeling anger. And it allows them to identify those symptoms, and then we provide tailored coping skills that can help them get through that moment. For example, if you're feeling highly anxious or triggered, the app provides very clear relaxation tools. One is a progressive muscle relaxation exercise, and another one is a guided imagery exercise to help people sort of go to a peaceful place and just for a few minutes take a break from their current experience.
Other problems also commonly occur alongside PTSD.
Jonathan Pilgrim uses the coping tools when stressful situations unexpectedly come up.
One time I had a individual come up to me out on the street in Baltimore, asked me for money. I said no, and he became very upset. I was agitated, and I just used one of the skills for feeling agitated, and it was very helpful in bringing me back into being mindful of this is the city. Things like this are going to happen.
Jordan Kettner customized the app by putting in tools that he finds soothing.
You know, I have pictures of my boys on there, of my wife on there, and it throws a picture of that, and because it does that for me, it just brings a smile, and it's like, it's not going to cure anything, you know, and I don't think anyone's going to be looking at it, but it's certainly a nice coping, another tool that you can use.
Jordan also uses the app's self-assessment tool that helps track symptoms over time.
When you're tracking yourself, then when you have everything laid down, you can go and you can talk to one of your practitioners and be like, here, I know this is a little silly, but I have a PTSD app, the PTSD Coach, and here's how I've been feeling the last few weeks, or here's how I've been feeling the last few months.
And then if you are, you can click on that.
Dr. Santinello believes the PTSD Coach can help in recovery.
I'm very excited about it. There's a lot of potential here for it to be almost in some ways a missing link between therapy and, you know, recovery in the real world, so to speak.
For Patricia, Jordan, and Jonathan, and thousands of other veterans, that link may be a lifeline.